Whew. Okay. Hello, it's Delisa here from Morbid Yarn, and I'm here with an update on Phoenix Hat knit that I said I was going to cast on as my next project for working through. I've got my yarn in a tangle. I only just took it out of the bag and I've already tangled the yarn. That's fine. Sorry about that. Okay. For this cast on of reworking some of my old patterns. What did I do? I'm tangling it up even more. Some of my old patterns that I had designed and written back when I was hand dyeing yarn. I don't know how I got this so tangled. This is ridiculous. Yes, this is normal for me to just be so tangly and silly. Oh, that's part of the problem. Okay, now what did I do? I've got the stitches facing the right way, and do I have my working yarn going the right way? I do. Yay. Okay, untangled. So I cast on this hat. You cast on 126 stitches, and I really didn't think anybody wanted to watch a video of me just casting on, because it takes a while. So I didn't record any of that, obviously. And while I was doing that, though, it got me thinking about how some of us really dread casting on. If the project that we're casting on, you have to cast on like a lot of stitches. And for me on this project, it took me like maybe a week, maybe even more than a week, longer than necessary to even just get this cast on, because I was avoiding the counting of the stitches and like that whole process. And when I finally got around to doing it and I was counting the stitches out, it really got me thinking about even more about putting the slow back in slow fashion, and that time you spend casting on, especially for something that takes a lot of stitches that you have to put on, so it takes some time, and you have to be focused and mindful when you're counting so you don't mess up your count and have to recount a bunch of times or rip things out when you've discovered later that you've messed up your count. That casting on is it's I'm trying to find my words. It's like I said, it's mindfulness, it's focused, it's intention, it's meditative, in that, I mean, not the kind of meditate where you just sit and try to be blank. That's not what I'm talking about. Where you have a focused intention. And when you're doing mindful knitting or mindful crochet, fiber work, the casting on or creating your foundation chain or whatever is a really important part of that process, because that is where you are setting your intention the very first time for your project, and you can really allow yourself to sink into that and ground your energy, count as almost like a form of breath work, and have like a rhythm to your count if you want to do that. And just really settle into the intention and the energy that you want to put into your project. Because, I mean, even if you're not making like a talisman, a magical wearable item, you can still put focus intention into your project. Like, who wouldn't want to wear a hat that the knitter, whether it's you or someone else, has, you know, just poured the energy of love and care and comfort and warmth or whatever into it, as opposed to the energy of, oh, I hate counting, this sucks, such a pain in the ass, ew, you know, whatever stresses me out, people are talking to me, it's frustrating, it takes too much time, I just want to get going. Those are very different energies. So I just wanted to say that about casting on, something I noticed while I was casting on for this hat. So I did just really take my time and be calm and breathe and let myself do it slowly with intention instead of in a rush to try and get it done. Now, well, I did get my count correctly when I was started my ribbing, because this is a knit 1 purl 2 ribbing on here. So when I did the first round of the ribbing, I did make some mistakes, so my ribbing was off, and all I did, instead of pulling back the whole thing on the second round, because I had a section at the beginning where it was correct, so I just worked along, and then when I found where I had messed up, then I would just pull that single stitch and fix it. So for example, I'm going to move in, hopefully you can see a little better. Is it okay? I don't know if that's too much. This yarn is kind of dark, so I don't know how well you can see what I'm doing. But for example, this is a knit stitch, but if I had accidentally put a purl stitch, I would just unpick the one stitch, or say this was a purl stitch and it was supposed to be a knit stitch, would just pull it, make sure your yarn here, that the stitch you plucked out is on the correct side of the stitch you're working, have them going on the needle the way you need to go, and just scoop it back on, and there you've got your knit stitch back. So you can switch just one stitch at a time from knit to a purl, and that's what I did on my second round to fix. You can see that it made some of my stitches a little wonky and like stretched out, but that's okay. I'm not worried about that. So on here I have done I've done my 7 rounds of ribbing, and row 8, which you just knit around and you put on your larger size needle, because you use a smaller size for the ribbing, and then you go up in size for the working of the hat. You can switch if you're working on circulars, and these are interchangeable. So if you have circular interchangeable like these ones, you can just keep your working needle as the bigger size and leave the smaller one on the other side, just so your stitches slide along better. But you can set that up however you like. I will be posting about this on my Substack, and I'll put the link to that Substack down below this video, so you can check that out if you want. I don't, and I don't mind doing videos where I'm working through the stitches, so I'll probably record some of those, like when we get to the sections where you start working the pattern stitches. It's very simple, but I can do some of those videos for those. This is the hat. Of course, I'm using different yarn this time so that the design in the hat is easier to see. I am using Coven Collective. Oops, I can't hold on to the glue. I can never hold on to anything. And this is the colorway Volcanic in their Full Moon Worsted. So, which I bought at my local yarn store. So yeah, that's where we're at. We've got the ribbon done. We are moving on to the pattern repeat stitches. It is very simple and works up pretty easily. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments. If you want to follow along, please like and subscribe. If you like to see things written out, that will be over on my Substack, which is free to subscribe to. And then you get emails. You don't have to do anything extra special over there. Just subscribe if you prefer written instructions. And then when I get this hat finished, I will be re-photographing it, hopefully doing a nicer photo than this one, and making the PDF of this available. Okay. Thank you for joining me, and please like and subscribe if you want to see more of this comment, and keep following along with the making of this Phoenix hat. And you can see all my little mistakes and where things weren't so bad, because I don't mind showing that kind of stuff, because I'm not a perfect knitter and I don't pretend to be. Thanks for being here.